Alright, good morning. This is JJ. I'm back in my kitchen here, and I'm going to show you the next step and probably the final step in making this. Um, so what I've done, I got it from the plate, and I've done put this into the sieve, into this colander. It's like a sieve, and what I'm doing is just pushing this through. You can see it falling. I've done half this bag already, just to save on just showing you the basic how it's done, so you can get a. I like the sieves or the colanders that have the reinforcement here, because it helps. You can push down hard, and this process or this step can be a little tedious. I've gotten to a point where kids help out with this too. My one son, he can do all this himself, and because they eat a lot of this too. They like it a lot. Breakfast. So I'm just pushing this through. Got it. When I get that much done, just pour it in there. It goes through pretty easy too. It's like I said, it turns out to be this finer, this type of flour that's more, it's not a powder, but it's a coarse. So I am finishing off here. Alright. And what I do too, I take this I buy this cassava, this yucca that's already it's grated up, and you never want to eat this. It says on the package even you don't want to eat it raw ever, but you do need to cook it up. But the way that I process it is, I will show you. I'm going to take my cloth, take any old t-shirt, whatever, white one that doesn't have dyes in it, preferably, and then I open up this. Scissors need to be a little better. Open up this package here, and put like a third of that in, and then I just squeeze out the juice. And this juice, actually, you can make different things out of this juice. You can either let it settle overnight, whatever, and then dump it out, and you can still use that, but then process it like I did, because the stuff that settles on the bottom is actually what was in this stuff that was in that bag. So I just squeeze this out good, and it's a little, it's not as dry as this other stuff, but it works fine. It sticks together. But what I do, I mix this, and this is a little trick that a lot of people don't know. But I mix this, and you can see it. I kind of put this inside here, and you can put it through the sieve also, but you need a sieve that's a little bigger holes, I think. But what I do, I kind of mix this up, break it up, basically crumble it up in there. So I will put the other. Yeah, I usually divide up in threes. It seems to work pretty well for me. You have a good amount, or you can squeeze it out pretty well. So, and this juice here, see, it's like a milky liquid. You can make like I said, you can use it in bacon or whatever. You can also, I'm breaking up here inside trying that method too, and whatever method works best for you. You can get your own way of doing it. It seems to be pretty good. Just figure that out, breaking it up inside the cloth, and then you just go dump it in there. But yeah, getting back to the juice, you can I make a hot sauce out of that too. I mix it with I save that stuff and I put habanero with I make my tucupi, mixing it with habanero, garlic, fresh garlic, and then just let it set. Or you can cook it up, you know, and bring it up to a certain temperature and then put it in. But if you ferment it, I mean, you can even the different tribes down in South America in the past have made different alcoholic beverages out of them. Kind of like, you know, chicha they do with corn, or they make one out of cassava too. But in the original way, that even the tribe where I grew up in a village, and they would, and this is very common, they stick it, they swish it in their mouths and then they spit it in just to get that, you know, bacteria going. Kind of sounds gross, but that's how they do that. But you can make it, you just let it set on your counter too. I made a drink out of it, put some little bit of honey or sugar with it, and it's a nice little alcoholic drink, you know, beverage you can enjoy. A little bit of lemon, or you can use it in making a hot sauce, like I said. But there's ways of you can. I like to save that. I don't like throwing it out down the sink. If anything, throw it in your compost, you know. Breaking it up here like I'm showing you, and then stick it. And the reason why I'm going through this painstaking job of doing this, because it adds two reasons. It adds very nice flavor, and I did happen to notice that the smell of this after I process it, it smelled really good. This brand I'm using, it's at in Namaste, I think it was, I used in this one. Really good fresh smell, so I can tell it hasn't been sitting on a shelf very long. So there we have our something we can work with here. Bag of this meal. And then the other reason why I like to not only the flavor, but it also helps to give it a different consistency, a kind of a lighter, fluffier kind of consistency. Like I said, the starch melds. It brings it all together. I mean, it's called goma down in Brazil, in some regions of Brazil. It's called goma because it kind of sounds like gummy. Gummy worms or gummy bears. The gummy kind of candy has that consistency when it gets heated up. It kind of melds together and very chewy. There's a cheese bread, pão de queijo, that they make down there, and it's made primarily out of this yucca starch, and it takes on the consistency of cheese, so very cheesy kind of consistency. So that That's what happens when this melts. But when you add this other with it, it kind of, I believe it can, your system, it helps you, you know, work its way through your system a lot easier on your GI, and being able to break it down, and I like the consistency of it. There's a type of another type of bread in the village I grew up in. They make it strictly out of this the fresh stuff, the grated cassava or yuca, and that's called beiju. It's like a tortilla, but it tends to be, when it's only made out of this here, it doesn't really meld together, and it tends to get very hard. You can break your teeth on it. It's like very crunchy, very hard, like a hardtack. And it's great. That's how they take it on journeys and hunting trips, and they're able to have a product that can last, and you know, have a, you know, eat it with meat or whatever. And then also, but if you the starch, the goma, if you, another side note here, if you cook that, you don't want to cook it too much in the pan, just until it melts together and flip it. You want it to be pliable and soft, because that too, if it gets cooked too much, it just gets very hard, and it becomes like tapioca, the uncooked, you know, like what you make a pudding out of, those pearls, those balls. Try eating one of them, and you can break the teeth on it. You know, they're very hard. They turn out like that if you cook it too much. So there's a fine line. It sounds complicated, but once you work with it, see what I'm talking about, it's not that bad, and it's a very simple, great meal. Like I said, I could eat this every day, and anything to get our systems away from glyphosate. It's just amazing. It's where we want to be, just until society has a shift, changes in the way of thinking, you know, as far as the ones who are developing these grains, and what they're doing, you know, producing them, until we have a shift in the way that they view the world. I mean, it's just going to continue to. We have to take the steps to get ourselves away from, get us into a healthier, you know, alternative for eating. So thank you for watching, and until next time, hopefully this can help you, and hope you enjoy this. Bye.